guys. I'm super excited to be talking with you today. My name is Dianna Gaebler, and I know just a tiny bit about managing money. So we're going to talk about that today in terms of what it means for a successful band. So the topic is a successful band. What does that take? And I just want to back up a little bit. A successful band is a couple things. So you can have a successful band where you have really, really good music, but you don't have any money, and that's fine. That's a hobby. That's not a successful business. And what we're looking at here right now, I think, is a business band, right? So you can also have no heart in your music, right? No good music, but you just have a formula. A plus B gets you some cash. That's okay. That's just a business. That's not a successful band, right? That's just a business. So what we're talking about today is really good music with a lot of heart and something that's going to make you some cash down the road. And we're going to talk about how to manage that cash, because to have a really great, successful band, you want heart and good music and cash that's sustainable over time. That means you want this exercise that we're going to talk about to be repeatable. When it comes to managing money, it's a pretty basic principle, and it's like the secret. It's like the secret. Don't spend more than you make. That's all it is, you guys. It's pretty simple, but it can get complicated. Your formula here for managing your money is taking a look at two sides of an equation: how much you make and then how much you spend. That's going to determine your profit or loss, right? So let's talk about that. It also determines your sustainability. If you're profitable, you can sustain things. So here's my question to you. Would you rather make $2,200 or would you rather make $18,000, right? Who says 18,000? Let's raise your hand. Oh, we got a couple hand raisers here. Who says $2,230? I got my hand on this side, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so remember that two-part formula, right? So I'm going to give you two examples. Here's one. This is sales. This is the sales side of your equation. Sales also, if you hear people talking about what's your revenue, that means your sales. You just add up your sales. Okay, and you make sales in a couple different ways, right? When you're a band, people are gonna pay you to perform, right? They're gonna buy tickets to go see you, so that's one way. Maybe you've made a recording and you've put it up on one of the streaming devices and you get paid royalties every time your song plays. That's another time you make some money. Maybe you have a really exciting personality and people want to see you. They want to pay you to come see you and sing, right? So personal appearances. And let's say you get paid this much for those different activities. It's going to equal $2,230, right? So that's one side of the equation. Then you're going to have some expenses, right? You're going to have to spend some money. So the second part is how much you spend. So let's say you have some other people in your band with you and you're going to pay them $200 to back you up, right? And then you have a bus to get you where you're going to go. And maybe that's mom, but maybe you're going to hire somebody because mom's busy. And that's $70 to get where you want to go. And then you have a stage, right? You're going to have some maybe lighting and sounds and those gourd music instruments that you guys made. Well, maybe now you're buying professional gourd music instruments and you have to pay for them, right? So that's $1,000. So all told, your expenses are going to be $1,270. So that's side two of your formula. So now we're going to look at what everybody wants. Does anybody know what this is? This is your profit, okay? So you take that first side of the equation, what you're making, that goes up here, and then you subtract that second side of the equation, which is your expenses, that goes here. And then what's left over is your profit that you as a successful business owner and a successful band owner are gonna wanna decide how to reinvest in your band. So you're walking away with $960 in your pocket. Not bad, right? Okay, now here's a whole other, everybody who raised their $18,000 hand. Okay, this is how we're gonna do it. You're super successful. You're out there marketing. You've told everybody that you have this gig coming up and they want to see you. You've sold $10,000 worth of tickets for your shows. That's really exciting. It's a lot of money. And then everybody wants to hear your songs on the streaming stuff, right? So you get about $4,000 in royalty. And then you have about $4,000. People want you to come places and sign autographs and all that good stuff. They're going to pay you $4,000 for that. So all of those together, $18,000. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Okay, that's the one side of the equation. But now we need to look at the other side of the equation. And this is really messy because this is what happens as businesses get bigger and your expenses get bigger, right? They get out of hand. So if we look at all the things that you need to pay for to get that $18,000, your band got bigger and they want more money. They're a little bit more famous, so pay me a little bit more. That's gonna cost a little bit more, and then you have more people to carry around on your bus, so that's more. And then you gotta put them up in a hotel and you gotta feed them, and then your marketing, and now your instruments aren't just professional gourds, but I mean, you've flown in a whole gourd choir, right? So you've got a lot of money that's going to support this band that you have, right? So now we gotta look at the whole equation all together. And that looks like this. Wah, wah. You brought in $18,000, but you spent 19 and a half. That means no profit. That means you have to find a way to pay $1,500 that you didn't make. And this is where people get into trouble, right? So they compare when people say, how much do you make? How much do you make? None of that matters if you know until you know what the context is, until you know what they're spending, you don't know if they have any money or not. So you always have to look at both sides. The nice thing about that is that you have two ways to control how much you're making. You can either make more and spend less, and then your profit just grows, right? And you have more money to invest into your band. This is your equation, right? This is what you need to think about. A successful band is going to have sales and revenue, and business people sometimes refer to that as your top line, right? Because that's the overall what the company is making, what your band is making is your top line revenue and sale. Then you're going to have some expenses. You want to always keep an eye on those because you never want your expenses to be more than your top line revenue. And then you take that expenses from your revenue and you're going to get your profit. Hopefully you're going to be making more than you're spending. If not, you're going to have a loss. And maybe you guys have heard this phrase. It's called, tell me what the bottom line is. This is where that comes from. That's the bottom line of that equation, and you always want that to be positive. You do that, you got a successful business. Good luck with your band. I can't wait to go hear from you and hear your music, right? So, and count me a ticket so I can come see. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.